Welcome to the Business Shop Podcast, where our guests speak on meeting the challenges of entrepreneurship, as well as offer tips and advice on business, marketing, technology, and more. Whether you are a newbie or a seasoned professional, this episode is for you. I am your host, Audrey Wiggins. Let's chop it up. Hello, Chop Squad and friends. It's great to be with you as always, and welcome new listeners. I hope that you will subscribe and become a member of the Chop Squad. Today, my guest is Kat Valverde, and she is an email and revenue strategist and the founder of Profesh. Kat has found a pragmatic pathway with email marketing beyond the doom and gloom hype and weird Hail Mary campaigns that we produce. It's a clear, straightforward process that she's eager to share with us, and we can implement the process, good people out there, that she's built at no charge. How about that? And her insights are tailored to support course creators, SaaS founders, agency leaders, and e-commerce proprietors. With joy in her heart, an MBA, a Harvard Organizational Psych Master's in progress, and over $5 million in direct revenue created for clients to date, Kat is excited to laugh, take a deep breath, and crack open the spreadsheet with us. Her focus is digital revenue strategy in the post-ads economy. And she's most curious about the part we tend to talk about least in the digital space, and that is, how is it really going financially? We'll learn more about Kat on the other side of this announcement. It's almost here, 60 days to success. It's the Elevating the You, an Entrepreneur Business Summit, produced and hosted by me, yes, the Tech Diva, Friday and Saturday, November 1st and 2nd via Zoom. Register now at bit.ly/elevating the letter U for TH quarter 2024. Friday, we'll have an executive chat with a transformational dream team as they bring their 200 combined years of success and challenges of entrepreneurship. Saturday, our speakers will dig deep into mindset, taking a boss, fitness, email marketing, strategy, and stupid goals. You heard that right. No more smart goals. Register now. Seating is limited. bit.ly/elevating the letter U for TH quarter 2024. Kat, welcome to the Business Shop.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Excited to be here.
Kat is on a mission to bring transparency and fairness into the marketing world. Growing up, knowing that her father pioneered the unsavory telemarketing scams of the 80s and 90s, schemes that preyed on the elderly and vulnerable, Kat Valverde developed a deep-seated commitment to ethical and equitable business practices. Her father's background in telemarketing fuels Kat's passion for creating marketing programs that are built on transparency, trust, and authenticity. With her latest program, she helps small businesses re-engage and reactivate our email list, bringing tailored, data-driven strategies to help us thrive. She's most excited to connect with SaaS in course creation, agency, and e-commerce teams. Kat believes that there is enough sunshine for everyone, no matter what the economy looks like. When you're dedicated to ethical marketing, equanimity, and bring a unique impact to the marketplace, you will win. She and her team at Profesh are here today with real cash flow solutions that you can implement right now, again, at no cost. Again, welcome, Kat, to the Business Shop. How are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Thank you.
No, you're welcome. So let's dive into some questions and just get going. We want to learn about some fun facts from you, what's going on, and some of your achievements. So if you want to just bust out the gate with some fun thing that you've done.
Yeah, sure. I'd love to. Well, Profesh, we're a digital marketing, like a full service marketing agency. But over the last year, so 2024, the theme for us was email marketing. And the more that you kind of circle back to it, we've all kind of left it in the dust as innovation is just built and built and built up. When you circle back, it's really exciting to see that we have left a lot of easy, helpful, valuable money on the table for ourselves and for our clients. And what we're seeing is if you can dedicate, 60 to 90 days to some of the frameworks that we've put together, you can easily bring in, what we're seeing if your average service is about $10,000, let's say for coaches, for example. In those
Mhm.
60 to 90 days, we're seeing people bring in an extra 10 or $100,000.
Yeah.
So it's possible. It's exciting. It certainly, for me as a marketer, gives me that dopamine hit that we need to to keep
Yeah.
going. And so, just hitting it right out the gate, that's what's out there if we're patient and can follow some quick and easy steps.
Okay, that's awesome. So let's just go right to the juggler here. We're talking 100K in 90 days. So so for that profit, I should use AI to help pay me more and my team more. And how does that work?
Yes. So, this all actually did start thinking about what's coming for us through AI. Chat GPT is pretty common now. And what we are seeing as well is something new coming down called Search GPT, and that's
Mm.
through Google. And what is going to happen, and I know that many of you out there are already feeling this in anticipation of it, is Google, knowing that they're going to hit this green go button on Search GPT, they're charging a lot more for ads.
Oh, okay.
Uh, yeah, and typically, let's say, we go back a year or two prior to this AI frenzy, we would spend a lot of time with our clients on honing ads, honing their message, figuring out where their audiences are, figuring
Mhm.
out like what the exact secret sauce is to hit that lightning in a bottle for an ad. Takes a long time.
Yeah.
And then once we'd get it, we could pretty much rely month to month on, let's say you're going to spend $1,000, we would know, okay, from that $1,000, we can expect like a 3 to 5x return on investment based on the number of leads that would come in. It was pretty reliable. And now that we're seeing these pushes towards Chat GPT and Search GPT, that is no longer the case. $1,000 is not getting you the same return. And in fact, many of my clients are realizing, oh gosh, now I need to spend $2,000 to get that same result, or $3,000, $4,000. Like it's starting to compound month over month. And so that's really what brought me to this point, thinking, okay, how can we work with AI, use it to be able to scale, to save time, to save ourselves money, but also innovate around it to get around these problems that it's causing. There's all these side effects. It's like a bad medication, right?
Right.
Um, and so, that's what's happening is we're finding ways, kind of circling back to email marketing to say, okay, you know, AI is great because I can start there. If I'm trying to tailor a really good, catchy subject line or trying to figure out what some good keywords are, I can use this to give me a good starting off point. And then I can use things like email marketing instead of ads. So I'm saving money there as well to start reaching out directly to my highest return on investment clients to say, hey, as a human, this is not the AI part, emailing them, emailing them directly and saying, hey, how's it going? Like, how's business? How are you feeling? It's crazy out there, and just try to take a pulse on, let's say, your top 10% most engaged, highest revenue clients from the past or that you're currently serving. And what we're seeing from that is a pretty high response rate. I think we're all in this struggle of the unknown, and quarter four going into the holidays is always a little bit more difficult, because we all get busy and
Yeah.
distracted, right? But just holistically, even outside of that, 2024 has brought a lot of innovation, but also a lot of layoffs, a lot of scary feelings. And so we're ready to talk, and we're ready to see, like, well, what are you doing that's working? How can we collaborate? So the response is really good.
Okay.
And from there, you just ask questions. Like, this is where being a human is really helpful, where, you keep learning what are these pain points of these top 10% on my email list. Once you learn them, you go back to the drawing board and you say, okay, I know that I've had X, Y, or Z services in the past that these clients have really, really liked. And I know that these are their pain points now. What can I do? Like, what is in my control right now? Can I offer a new service? Can I tweak a different product that maybe would solve for this for them? AI is really good for this kind of brainstorming and, plugging in different prompts and seeing what other AI services are out there are doing to see if, just a nice way to kind of get the ball rolling for yourself. And then once you have what that new thing is, you take it back to that same group and you say, okay, I heard you and I know you didn't ask me to, come up with a solution, but I did. And, do you want to try it out? Here's the price point, but given that, you helped me on the starting off point, let me offer you a little bit of a discount to give it a try. And then I'd love your feedback.
Yeah.
And the adoption's great. I mean, because you know exactly what their problems are because they told you. It's like a free a free R&D session, right?
Right.
Um, and then what's really cool about this is let's say you had a smaller email list of about 100 people. And so that top 10% you were talking to were 10 different people, a mix of clients and former clients, people that have subscribed to your email lists, and are very engaged. So you have that top 10% you've offered this service to, you've gotten good feedback on it. So now you go back and you offer it to all 100 people on your email list. Because what you've learned from that top 10 is a pretty good extrapolation about what's going on in the industry. And from that, we're seeing that, the assumption is correct, that that is a good extrapolation. And that new service that you've just developed over the last 30 days and offered up is resonating with the full email list and they are buying. Um, so it's pretty fun to see. And it's a free, like I said, free R&D and a nice mix of AI and your own kind of power source. And then what is built on top of that, after you've emailed everyone and they've all tried it out and they love your new service,
Hmm.
is you send out a follow-up email saying, hey, I know to the people that purchased and enjoyed it, saying, hey, thank you so much for buying this. I am enjoying the feedback. Keep it coming. And, we're really looking to expand this. Do you know anybody that could be that this new service or this new product could be of use to? And if so, maybe we can build a partnership. Maybe we can share email lists, or, I know that our values are aligned and our product or services could be aligned. Um, let's do like a referral type of program where, I'm emailing your list, you're emailing mine. Let's build our email lists together. And then I'll give you a kickback for anybody that you refer to me that makes this purchase.
Hmm.
And what I tell people, the hook here is it needs to be a meaningful referral.
Yeah.
So, when people come to us and they send people through our programs, we give them a 20% referral fee, which can be in the thousands, depending on what we
Yeah.
make
And
them
that's
it.
reasonable. Yeah.
Right, it is. And especially if you go into it knowing, okay, I'm baking this into my costs and into what what profit I'm having. But that piece of it, making sure that it's equitable for both sides is
Mhm.
what is going to make this a really, really valuable partnership. And we're seeing huge increases. I mean, 2, 3, 4 times increases in return on investment on both sides. So it's really exciting and it's really fun. Like when you both win, what else could you want?
Right. Is exactly, exactly. So what motivated you to take this spin on email marketing, and how did you, or where did that decision come from?
Yeah, it's a bit of a forcing function, to be honest.
Mm.
Like I said, 2024 was all focused on email marketing, thank goodness.
Okay. Mhm.
But I'd been working for myself for a couple of years after about a decade in corporate.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Every day is really fun and then also a little bit scary, but I think that
Uh-huh.
just lasts forever.
Yep. Oh, no.
Um, yeah, but after a couple of years, I got to the point where I realized, man, I am still just as burnt out as I was in corporate. Like I thought leaving this leadership role where I was responsible for a large team and didn't have the autonomy I thought I would have, and I was very much on this rat race. I thought that was the problem. And that's why I was so tired. That's why I was so burnt out.
Mm-hmm.
But, a couple years in reflecting and realizing, okay, I've matched and exceeded my prior salary, which was the goal, like great, but I'm still pretty tired and pretty burnt out. Like, is this a me problem? Like, what is going on?
Yep.
So a lot of reflection. But then, at that same time, I realized, okay, I don't really have even an extra minute in the day or an extra dollar to spend at the end of all of this. Like, this is great that I've gotten to this point and met my first round of goals, but what does this look like long term? Like, how am I going to do this and how am I going to scale if I don't have the time to scale? If I don't have the time to keep continuing really high client service and
Mhm.
client satisfaction, without being able to reach out and build my business in any sort of meaningful way. So it was a good problem to have that I was so busy and,
Mhm.
and had the client roster that I did, but then also a bit scary to say, well, I can't do this forever. And how the heck am I going to do this if I don't have the capital? Like, I don't have all this extra money coming in to be able to, is it throwing money at ads? Is it, paying other people to do sales for me? Like, what am I going to do? And that's what led me to kind of exploring these other non-traditional ways. And it even seems kind of crazy to say email marketing is non-traditional. It's just because
Right, right. Because it's still digital.
it's like, I mean, it's marketing 101, right? But we all have kind of, and myself included as a marketer, we scoff at it because it just seems so archaic. It seems so, like old school. But in reality, it's really not. Like, it's marketing 101 for a reason.
Right.
Um, and it's been actually really refreshing to see that my clients and people on my email list who haven't, even been a client before, they are refreshed by hearing from a person, like hearing from a human. And I think that resonates with all of us as consumers. Like, we're exhausted by our spam calls, our spam emails,
Yes.
like, oh my gosh, enough. So that's like a fun, exciting, unanticipated validation of, okay, if the way we differentiate ourselves as brands is by being ourselves and being a human, then, that's a good sign. Like, I can do that, you know?
Right.
So there's that. And then the second piece to it is I have now been able to build this in a way where I don't charge upfront for any of these programs because I myself understand, like, okay, I didn't have the capital to be able to scale. How do we
Mhm.
solve for that problem long term? How is it that, underrepresented groups who otherwise wouldn't have the opportunities to build their very valuable businesses, how can we solve for that?
Mhm.
And so what we've done is just reinvented how we structure our revenue and our campaigns. And it's such that when we find the right client that aligns with our values, they are ready to scale, they have really happy customers, really happy clients, they have an email list that they just haven't utilized properly, maybe, or in the right way that's resonating. We don't charge anything until revenue starts coming in. So we
Okay.
say, okay, we now have the ability to front the time and the money to dedicate to these campaigns, and we'll do a revenue split, for example, when those clients start coming in. So if it's a 3 months campaign, you bring in 200,000, that's 100,000 to our team and 100,000 to you. And then from there we talk, okay, who are your partners? Like, let's build in what your referral fees are for them. Like, we kind of lay out all of this for both teams, my team and yours, kind of work together to make sure we're all making money, right? Because at the end of the day, it's we all need to make it. We all want it, but we also want to make sure we're adding value and be
Right.
proud of what we're putting out there.
Yeah, absolutely. So how is that track then? So are we using the email platforms, email marketing platforms that that we have, or is there a different platform that that we're using when we connect with you? How
That's
does
a
it?
really good question. Yeah, my motto in most things is to meet people where they are. And so if you have good systems in place already, then it's up to the client, so whoever we're working with, to say, okay, are you really happy with this? Are your clients happy with this? Are they receiving your emails? Like, if you have programs and platforms already in place that are working well, then we can handle it from here, or we can be more of a, advisor, and your team can keep handling these things. We can walk you through them. And then in which case, of course, we would say instead of a 50-50 split, let's do a, 80-20 if you're doing the bulk of the work.
Mhm.
But then the reverse, if we get in there and realize, man, all your bones are pretty good, but maybe over here we can adjust. That's part of the onboarding. We do a pretty thorough kind of
Mhm.
onboarding and consultation to see if there's anything we can recommend that would be better.
Okay.
Um, and then we're certainly aren't proud. I mean, this is the other thing that is really cool about what I get to do is then I'm learning a lot. Like there's plenty of times where there's things to the side where they have put together a really amazing system that I hadn't thought of before that's working great. So then something that I can learn from too.
What gives you the most hope about content marketing or the current marketing landscape? Because I can remember at the beginning of the conversation, you talked about Google and their change with AI search. And so the price for ads are going up. It used to be that coming to the internet for small businesses, startups, and wannabes, that it leveled the playing field to be able to afford to advertise and to,
Mhm.
to reach their niche markets or some new markets.
Yes.
How it's the opposite. Go ahead, Kat.
It is. It is. What I tell people that surprises them is I personally do not pay a dollar for ads.
Mhm.
And that alone is a testament to like it is possible to get around this. And whenever I first started, and I still have these moments, of course, we don't know what's coming.
Yeah.
Innovation's great, it's speeding up, right? Like it's just time is getting faster and more is coming at us. What I tell people is I am constantly thinking about, okay, what can I control? And what is it that I can do right now? There's so much that I can't control what Google is doing. I can't control what Meta is doing or what YouTube is doing. And the answer for that is owning your data. um, so making sure if you have a platform that your audience is hanging out on primarily, that's great. But making sure that you're taking them off of that platform as well and saying like, hey, make sure that you send me over your email or subscribe to my list so that you can stay up to date on X, Y, or Z,
That's
right?
good advice. Mm.
It is. And, this is the thing. There are a lot of scary stories that my clients have experienced where they've been booted out of Facebook for weeks at a time. And that's where their primary lead generation was from, or Facebook groups, or where they were, connecting directly with their audiences.
Mm.
Um, and so, that can be really scary. And then the solution to that makes it far more manageable and empowers us as business owners is, keep talking to them there, but if you are moving them off platform, then that's okay. You still have a way to connect with them, you still have a way to sell, and it's free. And so if and when things like that happen, or algorithms change, or you know YouTube decides they don't like your content for whatever reason, they don't even have to give you a reason, right?
Right.
Uh, then you're not starting from scratch. And that's what gets me excited to talk to people. It's why I've been going on podcasts is,
Okay.
telling people like, hey, this is coming, but it's going to be fine if you are preparing for it. And then that's, you said it perfectly. It kind of is another way that we can level the playing field for ourselves.
Mhm.
And so we can get back to that feeling of empowerment and, kind of bring it on innovation. Like I'll just use you to my benefit and I still have everything I need to decide to build what I want to build.
You're right. And usually I'll close out and always ask you a nugget of advice, but I think you just gave it.
Definitely. Yes. Get your email lists, guys.
Absolutely. Yeah, because we do put a lot of trust into these systems, and but these are businesses just like we are, and so everyone's in it. We want to bring value and trust and bring service and a good product, but it's still at the end of the day that they're a business too. So they're going to be changing and doing things in their best interest.
Yep.
So yeah, definitely. So Chop Squad, this has been an amazing conversation here with Kat Valverde. So definitely plug into her. And what's the website we should go to, Kat?
Yes. Go to emailrevamp.com. and you can see the free course that's there. It's only half an hour, genuinely free. I'm not going to upsell you there. And then there's also a booking link. If you want to chat, you can click that link and put a meeting on my calendar and let's talk.
Awesome. All right. Thanks again, Kat.
Thank you. This is so fun.
Yep, you're welcome.
Thank you for listening to The Business Chops. We hope that you were able to glean valuable information from our guests and that you will download and share this podcast. Your rating and review is much appreciated. To go deeper with our guests, please visit their website and social channels. To learn more about us, please visit businesschop.info or altogether.biz, where we will help you expand your brand.